We had a solid weekend in the WNBA going 3-0 for plus 3 units, but the only thing that matters is what we do next. Are you with me? Fans, my name is Chris. Thank you so much for watching today's episode of The Bounce. We are a daily WNBA betting show that breaks down the odds boards and gives you free selections for each WNBA regular season contest. Today is Tuesday, June the 6th, and we have 3 games on tap for us tonight, and we are coming out firing with 3 selections for you guys to make us some money. Before we get into the plays, though, if you haven't already dropped a like on the video, I'd very much appreciate that. If we can somehow get this video to 100 likes, that'd be phenomenal. If you guys haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so now so you don't miss out on any free content. Now, as we look at the odds boards, you will see the Las Vegas Aces as 5.5-point road favorites over the Connecticut Sun. The Chicago Sky are 6-point home favorites over the Indiana Fever, and the Los Angeles Sparks are 2.5-point road favorites over the Seattle Storm. What we are rolling with is the under 167 points in the Las Vegas Connecticut game. The odds are minus 110. Look, this may be a bit of a weird scheduling spot for the Aces. They're on their 3rd road game in a row, and in 2 nights they're going to have to face the Connecticut Sun again in Connecticut to wrap up their 4-game road trip. This might be the game that the Aces' lack of effort catches up to them. They barely squeaked by Atlanta in the first game, barely squeaked by Indiana in the second game if it wasn't for a late second half push. And in this contest, the Sun definitely have the defense needed to limit the Aces' attack. And I do believe the Sun are in a good spot to possibly win this game outright and keep this game to a low-scoring number. Neither team are good at making three-pointers at a great clip, and neither can shoot the free throw worth a damn. The Sun have held their opponents to 80 points or fewer in 4 of their 7 games, while the Aces have done the same thing in 4 of their 6 games. I do believe defense is going to come to the forefront in this one, and I believe the Sun have a fighting chance in a low-scoring contest. Give me the under 167 at odds of minus 110. The next play we have for you is the Chicago Sky minus 6 points over the Indiana Fever. The odds are minus 110. Look, the Chicago Sky were great to us on the weekend. They won outright as 13-point dogs. We had them to cover the spread against the Liberty. And now they return home to face a weak Indiana team that if it wasn't for a late Atlanta Dream collapse, the Indiana Fever would simply be 0-5, and this spread would be much higher. The Chicago Sky, they've covered 6 of their last 7 games overall. They're a covering machine. And against an Indiana Fever team that simply doesn't have the offense that's needed to keep up with a great scoring Chicago Sky team, I do believe the Sky here at home, laying the 3 buckets is definitely worth a play. Give me the Chicago Sky minus 6 points at odds of minus 110. And the final play we have for you is the Seattle Storm plus 2.5 points over the Los Angeles Sparks. The odds are minus 110. Look, this is a revenge spot for the Storm, who lost to the Sparks on Saturday. We had the Sparks in that one, minus 5.5 points. That game went well. We cashed the ticket. But in this game, we're looking for a revenge, and we're going to take the opposite side here today. That game, the way it played out, the Los Angeles Sparks got to the free throw line 27 times. They made 23 attempts, while the Seattle Storm just went to the charity stripe 16 times. At home, for Seattle, I don't see that free throw discrepancy being as big. And if it weren't for the free throws, the Los Angeles Sparks could have lost that game outright as 6-point favorites. The Seattle Storm, they're at home. They're desperate for a win. They're 0-4 on the season. They're looking at basically, if they lose this game, they're 0-5, and then 2 games against the Mystics coming up. That's looking like 0-7, and simply out of a playoff spot early on in the season. I don't expect the Storm to make the playoffs this year, as a disclosure, but they're the desperate team in this one. And I do believe we're going to take the points here, plus 2.5, and maybe a little bit sprinkle on the money line if you're feeling dangerous. Give me the Seattle Storm plus 2.5 at odds of minus 110. That wraps up the 17th episode of The Bounce. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to help support the podcast, please drop a like on the video. I'd very much appreciate that. Sub to the YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any great content. And share these pics with your friends on social media so we can all make some money together. The next episode of The Bounce will be available on Tuesday night. Until next time,